So I'm gonna start this video off a little different. This weekend I end up getting to a car accident, but everybody's fine, everything's good, but want to give y'all an update on all the things that's been happening. So when I first started this, everybody was telling me, why I shouldn't do these videos and, what was the repercussion of it. It was never nothing positive, but besides you guys that was actually on the channel that gave encouraging words and uplifting me through all these things that I've been through, everybody, this world can be a real nasty place, and not just in jail, outside. They got some real negative people in this world, and I'm not, here to say nothing bad about you guys at all. You know who you are. That's very negative. But let me turn this up on a positive note. Well, since I've been doing these videos, I've been contacted by several guys that I actually talked about in these episodes. And man, when I tell you, like, one of the guys have a big social media following, you know what I'm saying? He's a, I guess an influencer. I didn't really know really much about social media. And that's just one of the guys that contacted me. I mean, I've been talking to maybe 4 or 5 guys that, already that, I actually did most of my time with, even a couple of guys that actually were turned out, in prison. And one of the guys, man, he done married a great girl. She done helped him psychologically. You know what I'm saying? She done helped him tremendously, man. This guy is doing very well in life, and we talking, and he thanking me for coming out and speaking the truth, you know what I'm saying, about the things that happened, because a lot of it, even though we were guys that was incarcerated for the wrong that we did, the prison should had accepted the faults of the prison as well, so a lot of healing has started to take place, with these videos, because I didn't even know these guys was watching these videos, but that wasn't my purpose. Like I said, was to make money and begin to get notoriety and all that. But I'm glad of the positive things that's coming out of it, and these guys are, wanting to connect with me and, just catch up and see where I'm at in life and where they at in life. And, a lot of those guys are doing really great, and although, all those bad things happen, now it seems like a lot of good and positive things are coming from this. So even a guy contacted me asking me would I like to he's an up and coming director and stuff like that, would I like to turn this into a series or a movie or something like that. I said, I would have to just think about that for the most part, And with the guys that then contacted me so far, we're talking about actually linking up and using our own money and doing some, starting some kind of center or something to help the youth, that's out here, so they don't have to experience, even though jail is very different today, but I mean, we can make a real difference from some of the things that we suffered from. We can actually share that and make a difference, So like on this page, I just want complete positivity. Although I'm talking about a lot of negative things that happen, we go into a positive place. You know what I'm saying? So don't ever get that twisted and think, this defines anybody, the things that they went through in their life that defines them, because I judge no one. You know what I'm saying? Anybody has the right to live their life according to the way they want to live it, and I'm going to get to the story, but just wanted to kind of give y'all an update. All right. Now, we coming off the episode where the New Jack crew was just formed and we had to fight with Port Allen, and, everybody was already sent to the block except Port Allen and they boys, and like I said, they were pretty deep at that time, but I'm going to fast forward this story all the way up until where everybody released from the block, even Bambino and his brother, which I had left that out the story, that they had a fight earlier and they were sent to the block. But I'm going to fast forward on up, so everybody can follow me. Everybody is back in the dorm except D, because D was actually shipped, because he took that charge and he was shipped, He was no longer in this prison. So now everybody's back in full force. Now, although everybody's back in the dorm, these guys are back in, just released off the block. So they ain't making no moves right now. Everybody is, I want to say the prison got more like stealth mode. Everybody plotting and scheming. And in prison, you have nothing but time on your hand to think of ways to set up traps and different things to how y'all gonna catch people and do things. So it began to be a cat and mouse kind of game, where people are plotting and putting things in place, to actually do harm to somebody, so our crew, we knew something, was gonna get to a boiling point to where we gonna have to defend ourselves because they gonna come after us. We knowing this. So me, Mark, Cody, Derek, man, Roderick, we was the head of the Njcip crew. And like I said, we had other members like Eric, Jeremy, Ben, different members like that, that really stood out and that was close, with the planning and the biggest parts of it. So Big Bambino, Lil Bambino, Ralph, Port Allen, Buttman, all these guys are over there, and you could tell that something is being put together. A plan is being put together. So this is where things start to get real, because, in the middle of the night, kidnappings, quietly moving and setting people in place to turn, it gets real crazy. That's why I say if you got a weak stomach, like I knew the story that I was going to tell, I advise you to exit now. So there's one day in particular I'm about to speak about. We over here on our side, and we noticed they over there, they all are putting together sheets and ripping up sheets, ripping up jeans, ripping up blankets, putting net sacks together. They over there doing something, but we not knowing what they doing. But at the same time, we talking and congregating saying, man, we got to come up with something to combat this, man. Like, they doing something, and at the time, we had the faintest idea of what they was doing. They was actually setting up traps, to where you can tie up all these different things with the net sack and all these ripped up sheets and jeans onto the bunks, from bunk to bunk to bunk, to where if you go in a certain way, you can't get out that way. And the plan was to catch each and every one of us, either 2x2, 3x3, long as we wasn't in full force on that side, and at the time, prison was still prison. People were still making moves independently as well, So we never thinking, that we gonna get caught one at a time. Now, let me give you the rundown real quick of how we operate now. Now, in the morning when we wake up, no matter where your rack at, we go to chow, and then we immediately go all the way to the back by the showers, the last two bunks, the last two racks, which is the rails and T is some New Jacks. We congregate at they racks. So we all back there, all the way to the back. The last rack right at the showers. We right there on the right-hand side. So, and Buttman them all the way to the front. They all go congregate there. We all giving each other space, because now, like I said, it's a cat and mouse game and it's plotting. Now, we got all the rules in place and all our plans in place. Like we tell you to use the buddy system and more if possible. Besides two people, try to just move at least two, but 4, 5, 6 if possible. But like, again, this is prison, and everybody don't want everybody to know what they doing every minute on the minute. It got some things you gonna do that you don't want everybody to know what you doing. It's personal things, whether it's calling home or whatever it is you got going on. But we implore you to use the buddy system. Now, there's one particular day, we got this guy named Big Sam. Big Sam is a tall, lanky guy, about 170 pounds, but he's real tall, about 6'9", And, Big Sam, I guess he end up seeing somebody that he knew from somewhere else, and he goes to the front up there to meet him. So now keep in mind, we ain't just, everybody, it's like maybe like 2 or 3 weeks later, everybody just got back into mode and doing a little bit more, it ain't on the tip of everybody's mind, how things are, but it's real hostile, So, and plus Sam only been in this prison for about 4 months, we done told him all the stories that we could possibly tell him, and things like that. But he never witnessed anything since he's been here. So Sam ventures off into the prison, going to see somebody that he know, and we all doing what we doing. I guess we didn't just kind of, took our mind off we can't watch everybody every minute on a minute. And we are far distance away from them, so that's why the buddy system is important. So Sam ventures off and goes up to the front of the prison. So now we all at the back, everybody just doing different things. We talking, everybody just congregating. You know how prison is. It's always rowdy and it's always chaos. And we just chilling, we all the way to the back. Now we see a lot of commotion going on at the front. Now, no matter what, we don't care who's in trouble. We're not just going to hastily run up there with no plan to save you if you get caught up there, because you know the rules. Use the buddy system, and plus we already know nobody that's with us going to be stupid enough to go up there by themselves. So, okay, we see all this going on, and now they done form like a wall around a certain rack, a certain center of racks, and a lot of things is happening. So we do all move up a little bit to try to get a feel of what's going on, and it's a lot of, and you hear a lot of muffled, like holler, like, we hear all this, so now we're even more, so we thinking maybe one of they guys that violated policy and, they disciplined them. So we don't know what's going on, and we hear a bunch of, yeah, you know it, boy, I told you, each and every one. Now we on King Alert now we on King Alert, because now we hear each and every one. So we know that possibly could mean us. Now we move up a little bit closer till we can kind of get in view range. And once we get in view range, we kind of see like a bunch of they bitches gathered around in a circle, and you see Buttman kind of going up and down, and you still hear that, so somebody is being taken. That's happening, but we still have no right and no law, no justification to interfere with what's going on, because we don't know who this is they doing this to. It could be one of they guys, or somebody who violated policy. So all of a sudden we hear Ben say, man, that's Big Sam. So we all start moving up farther, and as we moving up farther trying to get up there, they all disperse, and you see Big Sam come around the rack, gripping on the rack, holding on the rack, still slipping down, buck ass naked, knots on top of knots, bleeding everywhere. Man, I'm talking about he fucked up. So our main focus is to recover Sam, and and Sam's mouth all was still tied, and we steady, untying Sam's mouth and breaking back to the back. We all walking him back to the back to the bunk, and Sam, he out of breath, but he steady trying to tell us what had happened. And what he started to say was, he went to go holler at somebody that he knew, and when he got turned down a certain row of racks, they had like a portable barricade out of sheets, jeans, and net sacks, all the stuff that I told you about earlier. They used that to make a barricade, so when you go in there, it's just like a one-way. You ain't getting through those nets and sheets, and they just come in behind you, swoop in behind you, and beat you up or whatever. So Sam had been violated, and he's upset. He's hysterical. He's like, he want to tell the guards. He's like, man, I'm about to report these dudes and whatever. Now, keep in mind, Sam been in this prison for 4 months. He don't know no better. He don't know the rules. He don't know how things go. And I understand his frustration that, he's just been violated and he want to tell somebody. But we telling him, listen, we going to take care of this. We going to get him back for this. But you cannot by no means tell nobody. Sam, this don't make you less than a man. You didn't want this to happen to you. I'm sorry that it happened to you. You didn't want this to happen to you. But prison rules, the one thing they hate worse than booty bandits is a snitch. And you don't want to be labeled as that because you will be murdered for that. And that's a fact. So keep in mind, the New Jack crew is still kind of new. We just formed this thing. So we not even knowing how we going to get back at these guys and punish these guys. And, we taking Sam to the back to the showers, cleaning Sam up, because, this is the laws of prison. Ain't no snitching, ain't no telling. We just got to do some get back type stuff. You know what I'm saying? And we cleaning Sam up and Sam like, man, I'm going to kill one of these. Man, I swear I'm going to kill one of them. I'm going to kill one of them, man. I'm telling you. Sam ready to leave out of here right now, go pick up a weapon, because now at this time, everybody is practically armed in the prison. Go get a weapon and go back down there and kill one of these dudes. But we telling Sam, listen, Sam, man, listen, calm down, man. We got to be smarter, bro. We got to think smarter. We got to make an impact and let these dudes know it's going to be consequences that you go do this and you thinking we going to be these righteous kind of guys playing by the rules and ain't going to come back down there and do y'all nothing. So we telling Sam, we know we got to do something about this, what they did to you, Sam. Man, we gonna work together. We gonna help you through this, Sam. We brothers. We all brothers. We steady telling Sam, but Sam, man, he crying, man. And he going through this thing in his head, man. I'm gonna live with myself, But man, he really going off, and I don't blame him at this point, So that whole night, Big Sam ain't getting no sleep. And us being brothers, we stayed up with Big Sam all night, just reassuring him we gonna get these guys. And we don't want him to do something further to put himself out there and compromise himself. So, we stand up with him and talking, so we end up staying up the whole entire night with Sam. So that next day, we end up getting some New Jacks in. And with the New Jacks comes the fishing expedition. Hot mama, big booty ass boys. That's Bay right there, and on this group of New Jacks, it had this guy on the bus named Byron, and big ups to German. German knew Byron. Now, the thing about German and Byron, both of them, and I want to get this right, both of them was hearing impaired, so they both can sign and read lips. So they end up playing to our advantage in a way, so we end up putting a plan together. And, Byron didn't even kick it with us. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't part of the New Jack crew or he wasn't part of their crew. He kind of stayed neutral and stood his grounds. But Byron was going in and purchasing drugs because he was an avid drug user. So he ended up crediting drugs from Buttman them, the whole little crew, because they still was networking, but they'll move in a crew, in a full crew. 10 strong at the least, they'll move. So there was never a time to take, or it was going to turn into an all-out prison brawl, and we tried to avoid that as much as we could, because wasn't no resolution going to come from that. We had to make them and put fear in them. So, I say about a week passed by of Byron steady, crediting drugs from Buttman them. Now it comes the time where Byron got to pay up. So I see Buttman step to Byron and ask him, you got my money? And Byron like, I ain't got it, but I'm going to get it, and Buttman tell him, I'm going to give you a couple of days to come up with my money. And Byron say, okay, all right, I'm going to come up with your money or whatever. So, couple of days go by and I see Buttman, he sends like 3 of his guys along with Port Allen to go get the money from Byron. And Byron, they walks past us, because, you can't interfere with prison politics. If they got business together, we don't defend guys that go out and, do drugs and get involved with stuff like that. I see them all walking to the bathroom or whatever. I'm pretty sure they got in their mind they about to violate Byron. They about to give it to him. So it's Port Allen, you know, you got Tay. Yeah, and they got another big dude with him named Big Keith that they recruited. And they got Floyd and, you know, probably about two more other dudes, you know, along with Port Allen. And they walks in this bathroom behind Byron. So they in there talking. So all of a sudden, we all walks in the bathroom behind them. And Port Allen, he turns around and glances at us, and he's still continuing to talk. Because, like I said, they think we these righteous dudes gonna follow the rules while they just violate people and, you know, do all the evil stuff, and we just gonna stick to the prison politics and laws. So we walks in behind him, and he continuing to talk to Byron, and Byron telling him, man, I ain't got the money. He like, well, shit, you got to come up with something. You know, they feeling real sure of themselves at the time. And Big Keith, little short, T-Rex arm ass standing there. Man, and while they sitting there still talking, all of a sudden you see Roger come over the top and bow, hit Port Allen. When he hit Port Allen, all the fighting start. And you see Tay try to sneak out the bathroom, and they go Cody, caught him right there, started busting him up. Bow, bow, bow. I mean, Cody was working Tay. And then they pushed him back. We had the whole bathroom locked in. We got a block, like a brick wall, a guy standing there where they can't get out the bathroom. Now, we just working Port Allen, and I'm talking about working Big Keith, man. It's our whole full, strong crew in that bathroom working and stomping these guys out. And all of a sudden, you see Big Sam come through, and Big Sam swings with all his might and hit Port Allen right in the jaw. Whew. And Port Allen just screamed, ow! He yelled loud as hell. And then every time Big Sam hit him, he'll yell again, ow! Oh! Ow! Ow! You know, and we like, God damn! We thinking Sam hitting hard. But the whole time, Sam is stabbing Port Allen in the head, in the jaw, everywhere. He's stabbing him. Man. He stabbed this dude like 20-something times, man. And all you see is blood and chunks of shit just coming out. He just stabbing Port Allen up till Port Allen just laying on the ground. I mean, he's so weak, he can't even move, and Sam just ain't stopping. We have to literally stop the fighting. Tay takes off, running out the bathroom. We pulling Sam off of Port Allen. Now, all our motives was to get these dudes and to get Byron to start. He was already a drug user, to get drugs from Buttman them, and we knew they was gonna come for him. And when they did, our whole thing was just to beat they ass senseless and teach them, really beat them in inches of their life. But that's all we had the intent to do. But and show you how young minds work, our mind still never registered that Big Sam was this mad that he was gonna really try to kill somebody. And I look at it in hindsight like, how did we not know, you know what I'm saying, that this dude was going to literally try to kill somebody? And like I said earlier, Tay had took off, ran to the front, got Big Bambino, Buttman, them, they whole crew, and they come running back there about 30-something deep, you know, and we all bagging up. So everybody end up pulling out weapons too. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, here we go. It's about to go down. But they goes in the bathroom and find Port Allen. They all picks him up and rush him to the front and start beating on the door for the guards. So the COs come in and they grab Port Allen, pick him up, rush him out, you know, try to get him the help that he need or whatever, you know, and get on the bullhorn and tell all us to return to our racks, to the front of our racks, you know, and we all just staring, Buttman them down and Buttman them staring us down. Man, when I tell you fucking energy is through the roof, man, everybody adrenaline is rushing. Because we know this the start of something that's not about to end no time soon. This guy, Sam, then brought in a weapon and then really jugged one of their guys up. Now, they didn't jug other people up, but, you know, first, somebody just really getting off on one of their guys, the guys that they had so much love for. And it's sad to say that when Port Allen left that dorm in that condition, a lot of them guys in there was breathing signs of relief. I mean, there was no compassion. And to tell you the truth, I ain't have none for them either. Because that dude caused catastrophic damage to people. You know what I'm saying? He messed up people's lives forever. And everybody was happy to see him go. Right after that, the guards come back in, and Sam is still bloody from head to toe. So ain't nobody got to say who did this. He blooded, but this the crazy thing. He still got the shank in his hand. He's really talking to himself. He's really going crazy inside his mind right now. So a little while later, the COs come back in and they spot Sam in this condition. And they get on the radio and radio some codes. And a couple minutes later, the COs come running in full riot gear with shields and everything, ordering Sam to drop the weapon. But Sam just stands up and ain't dropping no weapon or nothing. And Sam starts stripping out of his clothes with the weapon in his hand. And they still saying, drop the weapon and lay face down. Now, they only going to give you this command 3 times before they start to implement a plan of attack to take your ass down. Now, Sam is still up and he's mumbling something. He's going really out of his mind. And my guy, Eric, who I'm going to tell y'all about, he's watching this episode right now, and he told me to speak the truth. And I'm going to speak the truth of what happened to him that over the next couple nights. But back to Sam. Sam actually just won't give up, and they spray him. And finally, they go and they subdue Sam and take Sam out. So, after they took Big Sam out, we thinking it's over for that part. But unknown to me, somebody had to gave the CO a list of names. And on that list was me, Darrell, T, Cody, Roderick, Derek, Mark, until it wasn't, they came and took all of us until it wasn't nothing up to about 15 to 20 New Jack crew members left in the dorm. So we end up staying in the block for like a month and a half. But when we returned to the dorm, we heard a story. A story of the little guy, Eric. Now, what was supposed to have happened was maybe like 2 or 3 nights later, they went and snatched this little guy, Eric, out of his rack, kidnapped him out of his rack, and violated him in front of the whole remaining New Jack crew. And they sat there and they watched Buttman them and Keith violate Lil Eric right there in front of them and did nothing. And I understand it because they took all the New Jack crew members, the power structure, they took that from the dorm. And that's when I realized that Buttman and Bambino and them, they wasn't playing fair. That they didn't think the rules applied to them. Now, upon coming back to the dorm, I got probably 7 or 8 months left on my sentence, So I'm really coming back to really stay low key, you know what I'm saying, and do the rest of my time and really try to get out of here. But they got other plans. And plus, they had them violated this little guy, Eric, almost every night that we was in the block. But this little guy, Eric, wasn't conforming. So little did they know, I'm going to speed it up to where we came back into the dorm. We all back in the dorm, everybody congregating. We all, talking about, things that didn't happen in the block or whatever, shooting, whatever. And Lil Eric, he's standing among us, but he's real quiet because, he's been violated, but he ain't accepting that role. So I would say, maybe a week later, and I say that at best, We all was knocked out sleep. Not in the deep sleep, but sleep. And all we heard was, woo-yah, 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 woo-hoo. And we just smelled smoke and everything. And we seen Ralph running backwards and forth. He had to set Ralph's ass on fire. Lil Eric, he had to set him on fire. Now, when we come back, I'm going to pick it up from here because I got about 7 to 8 months left in this prison. And you know when you about to get ready to get out of prison and guys know you short, they know your sentence short, they come for you. They come strictly for you. Now, in episode 1, I told y'all I was going to take y'all through each and every one of my jokes in prison. And I told y'all this was just my very first one. So we got about 7 to 8 more months in here and the guys start coming for me. But I'm going to also get into each and every prison sentence that I did. And each prison was different. Hey, if you would like to be a part of this channel and help this channel grow, here's how.